hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And welcome to Home Repairs and Solutions with your hosts, Mary Pearson and Mark Withers. Home Repairs and Solutions is brought to you by Spring Mountain Air, your authorized Amana dealer. Now here's Mary and Mark.
Good morning.
How are you today, Mr. Mark?
I'm good. I can't hear you, Mary.
You can't hear me?
Oh, there you are.
Sorry.
Yeah, I hear you now. Gary turned a knob or something.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That means everyone can hear me now, I guess.
That's right.
So, well, I don't know if that's good or not.
Oh, it's good. We're here to be heard, let me tell you.
Well, I'm doing pretty good this morning. I'm sitting here and I got my hot cup of coffee and I'm about to get thawed out. I'm telling you what.
You know,
This winter's about to kill me.
I was out on a job yesterday, and we were talking about this, and walked outside. You know, the sun was shining and everything. It looked really
Oh, it
nice
looked
out. And it was
gorgeous.
beautiful. And the guy that I was working with, he looks at me and he's like, you know, he said, this is pretty sad when we walk out and think, man, it's just a beautiful day. And here it is. He said 11, 12 degrees.
Oh, it was cold.
And we're just thinking this is just great. That there's something wrong with that picture right there. Are we getting used to these,
No.
cold temperatures?
I'm not.
Because it was. I mean, I was outside. And
It was beautiful. The
It
sun was
was.
out and everything was shiny and sparkling. And yeah,
So we're
I
just
agree
like-
with you. It was a beautiful day.
And
It really
so
was.
it's just like, oh, this is a nice day, and instead of like, oh, it's cold, and everything. So, but let's just not get used to this.
No. A nice day is all in your head anyway.
That is.
You can have it doesn't really matter what the weather's doing. You can have a good day no matter what.
if
If you want to.
If you want to.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I can go in the garage, raise the door, and fire the old V-twin up, and just sit there on it and listen to that motor, and
That's
I'm having a
right.
good day.
Absolutely.
It'd be better if I was out riding, but hey, it's all in your mind.
I was thinking
It's
about
just,
that yesterday actually. I thought, wow, if this snow would melt, I would almost be tempted just to get on as many clothes as I could get on and take off. I probably couldn't go very far.
Maybe the end of the driveway and back, but hey, that'd be a good day. So,
Yes, it would.
absolutely. We love them. So
We do.
Yep.
We do. And speaking of cold, there's a lot of talk about utility costs and the cost of propane stuff. I was talking to my dad this morning, and my mom and dad live down at Mansfield, and he was talking about they're on propane, and
Right.
he said they had to buy some again yesterday, and so I said, well, Dad, what did you have to pay for it? And he said it was $3.40 a gallon. So I know there's a lot of people struggling with that right
Yeah.
now. That it's just the costs just are really astronomical. So it's kind of a tough situation.
A couple weeks ago, when this all really started coming down about the price of propane and everything, I had a friend of mine that lives down Forsyth area. Well, let's see. Does he live over around Forsyth or Kimberly City? Down in there somewhere. The people he had dealt with for years and years that he's bought propane from, he knows them well. He had to have propane delivered. It was $6.
Oh my!
And they told him, they said, he said, I can't blame them. He said, they were being honest with me. He said they was paying $5 something.
Yeah.
And, that's robbery. I don't care what you say. That's horrible. And then I think their price finally came back down a little bit. But, these small propane companies that we have to deal with, they have to pass along the cost.
Well, yeah, they're buying it from
They're buying it
somebody.
from somebody.
Sure.
And, they apologized to him. They said, this is exactly what we're paying for at $5 something. He said, and he's like, figure their cost getting it out there to me and
Oh,
everything,
gosh, yeah.
and paying their help and their truck and everything.
Sure.
And it's sad that things like that happen.
Yeah, I know. Kind of when all this started, everyone wanted to jump on the propane companies and beat them up and
Yeah.
scream and yell and all that. And I don't own a propane business, thank goodness. I don't
No,
know. I don't know all the ins and outs of all of it and everything. But there's always more to the story than we get
yes,
told.
there
And
is.
so, I I would like to think that the local people here wouldn't be gouging their friends and neighbors. You know, but like you said, they're not pumping it out of the ground.
Yeah.
So they're at the mercy of somebody else, and then you have the transportation of getting it back and forth and down here, and then the weather's affecting all of that stuff, and you can't get stuff where you need to when you need to, and it's just kind of a mess all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
But it won't be here forever.
No, it won't.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was looking at the map this morning, and they were showing the map of the United States out. The only place that said warm was the tip of Florida, and I thought, man, I'm headed there. Everything else was cold or mild. I'm thinking, man, there's got to be a hot spot somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
We could go.
My dad, they always take off and go down to Mission, Texas, or way down, South Texas.
Yeah.
We was looking yesterday. It was like 34 down there.
Oh, yeah.
It's
They're
like,
having
holy moly,
unseasonably cold weather, too.
Yeah.
So, it's not just us. Everyone's getting some of it. So.
Everybody, yeah, that's right. I talked to a lady yesterday. I had to place an order on some building materials, and I asked her, I said, where are you? And she said, I'm in Hutchinson, Kansas. And I said, well, what's the weather like out there? And she's like, it's horrible. She said, it's cold. Of course, it's always windy in Kansas.
Oh,
And she said they'd had about 10 inches of snow out there.
Oh, my.
And so, no, hey, we got it pretty good right here in the Ozarks, really, in the scheme of things.
And, we do, and I know some of the side roads are still icy and stuff, but, they really, hats off to our local people. I think they do a great job getting things cleaned off as quickly as they can and getting us back on the road and back out and taking care of business. So,
and if you don't think so, you go to some of the other parts of the country.
Oh, yeah.
And, our people in this area, hats off to them because they do a great job, I think, keeping our roads clear.
Yep, I think they do, too. Keep us going.
I come up to a stop sign yesterday. My truck would not stop. It slid all the way out in the intersection. There was a guy coming, and he got mad at me. Started honking and shaking his fist at me. I'm like, I looked at him, I put my hands up and said, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
I had the brake to the floor, and it would not stop.
No, yeah.
So, but there's always those kind of people out there.
Oh, sure. Yeah, well, they need to just calm down and take a deep breath.
Out.
It's, don't have a heart attack over the weather, people.
No.
It's just, it's not worth it.
No, we'll have a few days. It'll go away.
It'll be all right.
Yep.
I was taking my granddaughter to school yesterday. Springfield actually had school yesterday, and so I was taking her down there, and she's going to be 16 pretty soon. And so I always take opportunities when we're going in the car. Now, obviously, I was not going to let her drive yesterday, but she has her permit, and I've ridden with her, and she's a good driver to the extent that she knows how to drive. But I was taking the opportunity while I was taking her to school to teach her things about when you're on the ice and when you're on a hill and when you're approaching a stop sign and how to do different things. And we were kind of watching traffic, and we were coming to a four-way stop, and there was a vehicle coming up on our right, and I was sitting there, and I said, they are not going to stop.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? And I said, I'm telling you, you watch, they're not going to stop. And I knew they weren't because of the slope of the hill. If they would have stopped, they'd have been in trouble.
Yeah.
And so I said, we're just going to sit here. And we sat there, and they didn't stop. Now, they were not going fast at all.
Right.
But there was three of us at the stop, at this four-way stop. There were three of us sitting there, and this one coming up the hill. And we all sat there. It's like we all knew that if they stopped, they'd be in trouble. So we all just sat right there and let them come up the hill, make their turn, and go on through. And she's like, wow. She said, I probably would have pulled out. And I said, see, you always have to pay attention to your road conditions and what's going on around you. So it was a great opportunity for me to teach her some safe driving practices in this kind of weather.
Sure.
And hopefully she will remember some of that.
I bet she will.
I'll bet she will. She's pretty sharp.
No doubt. Well, that's great. And that's
there's always things you can do when things like this happen. Use it for a teaching opportunity, or there's lots of things you can do. So
that's for sure.
It doesn't have to all be bad.
Nope, not at all. That's for sure. So I think we need to give out our numbers.
We do. In case you haven't noticed, we're having a Mark and Mary show today.
Yeah.
Couldn't get a guest on. We have them booked for the rest of the month. I think the cold weather scared some people off.
Just a bunch of wimps out there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'd ask, you want to be on the show? Yeah, but not this week. Not this week.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
They do have heat and modern plumbing here in the radio station. So
yeah, it is warm in here.
It is warm in here. That's right. So
we're not sitting out here in the frigid temperatures. So
yeah, no doubt. Well, our numbers where you can get in touch with us today are 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056. If you're a Verizon wireless customer, it's a *56, or you can send us a text message at 417-838-3192, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yes, we would, and we'll just talk about whatever you want to talk about
That's
today.
right. We will.
I do have a tip though for our listeners, and I try to talk about things that's going on currently at Spring Mountain Air, because I imagine that if we have 2 or 3 clients calling in with the same problem, we might have some listeners with that problem.
Right,
so
exactly.
Some of the calls, we've actually got 3 calls just this week, and people that are having popping noises with their furnace. And it's when the furnace goes off or comes on, it's making a popping or a banging noise. The problem has been the same for every one of these clients. Dirty filters.
Really?
Their filters were so dirty and so clogged, and your furnaces are running so hard, and they're having to pull. If you have a dirty filter, they're having to pull so hard that when they're coming off and on, the suction was so strong that it was popping that plenum.
Well, I'll be. Wow.
And so we went out, changed the filters, popping's gone, furnaces, working like it's supposed to, get all that. And so there's lots of reasons to change your filters. Unfortunately, some of them we did ask, do you have clean filters? Oh, yeah, we just changed them. Sometimes time goes by quicker than we think it does.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe it seems like you just changed them. So if any of you out there are having that popping noise when your furnace is coming off and on, and it kind of sounds like there's metal popping, before you call for service, check your filters.
Yeah.
More than likely, that's the issue. They're clogged and they're plugged up too much, and it's having to pull too hard, and it's making that metal expand and contract and pop. So,
well,
there we go.
It's kind of the same. If you're drinking, say, a bottle of bottled water, and you know how sometimes you'll suck on that bottle,
Yeah,
and
and
it'll
crunch up and
yeah,
make noise.
And then when you take your tongue off of it, it'll expand back
Yep.
out and it'll pop and stuff. Kind of the same difference.
It's kind of the same thing. Yeah, sure enough. So anyway, if you're having that issue, that might save you a service call, and just go ahead and check the filter, change it. If that takes care of the popping noise, then you know it was the filter.
That's right.
There you go.
Good idea. So.
All righty. We have a caller.
Yes, we do.
So we have Gloria with us this morning. Good morning, Gloria.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
I enjoy your conversation about grandkids.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I love my grandchildren.
I do, too. They're fantastic. And actually, my grandson, Ben, is written up in the sports page all the time.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. But I want to tell you, I don't worry about the weather because I don't worry about things I can't control.
That's a good philosophy, Gloria.
That's right. I don't worry about that. So I deal with it, and, if I know there's going to be bad weather, I go out and get my milk, whatever I need, ahead of time. But I also have, if I got to get out, like the snow's laying on the ground so much, I know what I got to do. I know where to park and this and that, and they know it. And I know, like at Price Cutters, if I go there, and I can request they walk me out to my car.
Yes, they are willing to do those kind of things here.
Okay, but I want to tell you something funny. Okay, you talked about your granddaughter 16.
Uh-huh.
My grandson will be 16 in April. And like I said, he's always written up on a sports page in the newsletter. And he's on, actually, I didn't know this term till my son told me. Ozone is about sports.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, but anyway, he's on there too. They call him Benny Buckets.
Okay.
His name's Ben. But anyway, I want to tell you a little story. And I'm not going to take up much of your time because you did install my new furnace and my air conditioner.
Yes, ma'am, we did.
I'm very cozy in my house. I thought about getting rid of the bigger size home, going down. I thought, well, hell, I got a new roof. It's very comfortable, and I don't care if it snows 20 days in a row. I've got room to roam.
Yes, you do.
Move. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, but I'm going to tell you a little story. My granddaughter was over at my house. She had a driver's permit. She's 15. It snowed 16 inches. I said, come on. I'm going to drive you, and you're going to learn how to drive on snow. So I drove to this one area, and then I let her take over so she could feel what it's like to drive in 16 inches of snow. Now, I do have a Suburban, four-wheel drive, but that's what I did. And we drove all around the neighborhood. We didn't even pass a car. But, and when I told my son-in-law, her dad, he said, you did what? And I said, yeah. And I drove a school bus for 11 years, so I'm a very good driver.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what to teach them. And, what everybody's got to remember, the space between you and the car in front of you is called your living room. The space between you and the car in front of you is called your living room.
That's interesting.
That's how much space it takes to live if they do something goofy in front of you.
Yeah.
That's right. And I do not like following close behind. And if any one of my kids are that, or I'm driving with them, I say, back up. Don't get so close. That's your living room. That's the space you've got to live in. If they do something goofy, you
That's
can
right.
stop.
That's right.
Okay, that's all I want to say. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, Gloria. You too.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gloria.
My parents did that when I was, before I was 16. My dad would take me out when we had snow and stuff, and we would go out either on a big parking lot, like at a church parking lot, or the school parking lot or something.
Sure.
And which makes a lot, you think about it, why would you not teach your children to drive in this stuff in an area where it's safe for them to learn instead of out on the
That's right.
highway?
Exactly.
So I don't know how many people do that anymore. We did that with our children. When they were 16, when they had their permit, we took them to the school and made them drive all over the school, made them park, made them do this, do that, back up, all kinds of things in a big empty space. So if they made mistakes, they weren't going to hurt anybody or anything. And I don't know if people do that so much anymore. I don't know, how that's handled so much anymore. But then we had driver's ed in school, and I don't know if they offer that in school anymore. And
well, I think they do. And unfortunately, it seems like, we as parents are so busy these days. Mom and dad both work. We got so much going on that sometimes we forget about things like that. We think we depend on our schools to teach our kids these things when really. You're exactly right. That's a way, I drove a lot of circles in parking lots and in my grandparents' front yard because they had a huge front yard, my grandma, she never had driver's license up till, I don't know, she was probably in her 50s at least, maybe 60 years old. And she decided she was going to learn how to drive, and I rode many circles with her around the peach trees out there in the front yard.
Oh yeah,
and so it's the same whether it's with your kids. I think that's really important that you do, and you get them out in a place where they can't really hurt anything, can't hurt the car, but it really teaches them the proper way to drive in this kind of stuff.
Well, I know that my dad, my grandpa, my uncle, I had a huge support team that taught me all kinds of things when I was growing up like that. But they would take me out, and Mansfield has an airport that doesn't have a lot of flying activity, and so I learned to do a lot of things on the airport. I learned to drive, I learned to ride motorcycles, all that stuff on the airport, and so they would make me get up speed, and then to a certain extent, and then put on the brakes so I would know what would happen if a car went into a slide or a spin, or because you couldn't hit anything out there. It was like this huge open space, and so if we spun around or we weren't going to hurt anything, and eventually we'd stop. So if you don't experience that, and it happens, when you're out in the traffic, you're probably going to panic.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the worst thing you can possibly do. So.
And then it affects everybody around.
Yeah, yeah. Then it gets really ugly really quickly.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And not to say that won't happen to me sometime or I won't have an accident. You can't prevent everything, but I kind of have a little bit of knowledge of how to drive in different circumstances and try to make good decisions and be calm about what's going on around me. So
that's the thing. Stay calm.
Stay calm. Yeah. That's always a good thing.
Yep, that's right. It is. We're talking about saving energy, and I learned something new today, and I was looking at it here on the internet. Had coffee with a guy that's building a new house, and I would like to think that me being in the building business, I see everything and know, but there's always something new that you're like, wow, I didn't know that existed. He was telling me in this new house that he's just building, he found a new kind of water heater, in the kind he got's made by Rheem. It's actually a hybrid water heater. It's electric. It has your elements in it, but it also has a heat pump on the top. And so you can there's 2 or 3 modes that you can set the water heater on. You can do, like we call it, an emergency mode on our heat pumps in the house, where it just works off the elements. You can do a power saving mode, or just heat pump mode. And and I was just reading on their website about it a little bit. It doubles the efficiency, supposedly, of a standard electric water heater. And so,
well, that does make sense to
yeah.
me.
So
Well,
it's
I don't know. With the
interesting.
cost of propane now, I don't know how that works out. But
Yeah, exactly.
in a normal propane situation, that makes sense.
So that was really interesting. I didn't know these existed. I knew water heaters were, way more efficient than what they used to be.
Oh, yeah.
And there was some new technology out there, but I didn't realize there was a heat pump water heater.
I didn't either. I always thought that if I had to replace my hot water heater, I would look into maybe that, is it called instant hot water or whatever that is, where it's not constantly reheating the water over and over and over.
Yeah.
It just heats it when you turn it on and need it.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know a lot about those, but I've heard those work very well.
Yeah.
I wonder how this would work compared to that. That would be
I don't know.
interesting to find out.
It would be. I've talked to several plumbers about the instant hot water heaters. Some really like them and some don't.
Yeah.
I've heard some say that it takes so much energy when those kick on, whether it be a gas or electric, to instantly heat that water up.
I see.
That you're not saving a whole lot.
I see.
I would think, because if you have a conventional water heater, you're keeping that water in that tank heated all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would think that would save some money, but I've heard it both ways. So
if we have any plumbers listening and know about this, give us a call.
we've tried to get, I tell you what,
I know.
or these plumbers.
If we have any plumbers listening in today, because I'm sure you have nothing to do in this frozen weather.
Oh yeah.
Call in and tell us about this hybrid water heater if you know anything about it.
Yep, absolutely. We'd love to know more. So
That's right.
It's about time to take a break.
It is. I think that our half hour has already gone by.
Where'd it go?
I don't know.
Well, we got another one coming up.
We do, so don't leave.
That's right. We'll be right back with more home repairs and solutions right after this. Now, if you've got a problem and you don't know what to do, your siding's going bad and you're plagued with green mildew. Well, your faucets, they all drip, and your sinks are all clogged up too. Well, there's no need to worry. I'll tell you what you can do. Just call Home Repairs and Solutions. Home Repairs and Solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home Repairs and Solutions.
Here's news on the Ozarks News Network. A state representative from Columbia has introduced a bill to legalize marijuana in Missouri. The bill would allow adults 21 and over to grow and sell marijuana. It would also be taxed. Under the plan, Greene County would be limited to 112 sellers of marijuana. Christian County would be limited to 32. Police in Nixa are looking for a man wanted in 2 counties. 48-year-old David Cloud is wanted in Christian County for leaving the scene of an accident, possession of a controlled substance, stealing, failing to appear, and driving while his license was revoked. He's wanted in Taney County for stealing. And leaders in Springfield and Greene County have met to kick off a plan for community improvement over the next 20 years. Field Guide 2030 will address sustainability, civic engagement, regionalism, and minimizing poverty. The plan is broken up into 5-year action plans. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
And join us for America's First News, Monday through Saturday at 6:05 a.m. on the Wall Street Journal This Morning on AM 560 KWTO.
If you're a homeowner who's faithfully made your mortgage payments, you deserve thanks for doing the right thing. And I'd like to tell you about a powerful financial tool that rewards your commitment. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans. And the tool that I'm talking about is the Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. HARP is designed to help you lower your mortgage payments. It's for homeowners who are current on their mortgage payments, but due to the housing market may have little or no equity left in their home. And even if you were unable to get a HARP loan in the past, new guidelines mean that now you may be eligible. More than 2.5 million homeowners have already taken advantage of HARP and are saving an average of $250 a month. If you're one of the millions yet to take advantage, call us today at 800-QUICKEN. To learn more, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to quickenloans.com. That number again is 800-QUICKEN.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Whether you have one small houseplant or acres of land, you're gardening. Hi, this is Nick Federoff. Join me every Sunday morning right here on KWTO AM 560, where we talk about gardening, landscaping. I'll help you out with all of your indoor and outdoor living ideas. All you have to do is to tune in. And that's Sunday morning with Nick Federoff on gardening here on KWTO AM 560, the talk of the Ozarks.
Sunday morning, 9 to 10.
Partial sunshine today with a couple of late afternoon flurries, high 25, then evening snow with little or no accumulation. Clear skies later tonight with a low 15. Clouds and sun throughout the day tomorrow, high 36 and a low near 20, then becoming mostly cloudy for Sunday with a high again 36. Mostly cloudy and colder Monday with snow at night, high 24. I'm AccuWeather's Kevin Snyder.
It's 17 degrees at AM 560 KWTO.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And welcome back to Home Repairs and Solutions, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air, your authorized Amana dealer, with hosts Mary Pearson and Mark Withers. If you would like to be part of the show, the phone numbers are 862-9977. That's 862-9977 or 1-800-375-0056. Or if you'd like to text, you can dial
417-838-3192. We'd love to hear from you.
We would.
Yeah.
Although Mark and I can just talk for hours amongst ourselves, but it's
We
always
can.
fun to have someone call in
Well,
and
that's
join the
true.
conversation.
Yeah,
We're
that
pretty
is true.
self-entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely do that, that's for sure. So, hey, we come to a end of an era last night in TV for any of you folks that keep up with the entertainment out there.
Yes, we did.
Jay Leno's final show.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Sure enough, and I missed it.
Well, I DVR'd it, so I'll watch it probably tonight. But we were talking during the break there. You go back to, I think Gary was saying Steve Allen and Jack Parr.
Johnny Carson.
Johnny was probably my favorite.
Yeah, I like Johnny the
And
best.
I remember when I was a little kid staying up late, because my folks never made me go to bed at a certain time. So I'd usually stay up and watch the Tonight Show. And
Really?
Yeah, I did. So I grew up watching Johnny Carson.
I am not a night owl.
I could hang right with the best of them. The older I get, though, the less I do that. Now anything comes on after the news, I just DVR.
No more of that staying up all night. You
No.
can watch it on your own time during the
That's
day.
right. That's right. And it wasn't nothing for me just a couple, 3 years ago. Golly, I'd be at the office at 5:30 of a morning,
Yeah.
Now, shoot, I'm good if I'm out of bed by 7,
Oh, my goodness.
I know. That's
Oh, my
terrible.
goodness. Well, that's just, things change.
They do.
That's one thing about it. Nothing ever, you're either moving forward or moving backward, but you're not standing still.
Not standing still.
You can't stand still,
No,
so you
no.
got to do one or the other. But
That's right.
And speaking of not standing still,
Uh-huh.
I don't know how this has anything to do with it, but I want to talk a little bit about when I was talking to my son this morning. We were having a little meeting, and I said, I'm going to be on the radio today. Is there anything we can talk about besides this popping, banging noise that might help people out?
Right.
And he said, I might want to remind folks that we have dual fuel systems available. We are getting a lot of calls on those again. I'm sure it's due to the cost of utilities and all of that type of thing. So if somebody has a question about a dual fuel system, if you don't know what that is, that's where you have a high efficiency heat pump and it's backed up by a high efficiency furnace. City Utilities, for their clients, still has great rebates available.
Right.
The payback for a high efficiency dual fuel is a pretty short period of time. And if you factor in the cost of propane and different things going on, you can even get your money back quicker. Combine that with the smart chip, and I'm going to tell you something. You are going to have a lot of money savings. Yeah. So I know Nathan's busy today. He's doing several estimates today. He might have some time maybe this afternoon if someone wants an estimate, still later today. But give us a call over at 831-4036. Talk to Angel or Nathan or anyone that's in the office today and tell them what you have going on, what your concerns are. We have people call in and say, the utilities are really getting to me, and this is the system I have. What are my options?
Right.
Not everyone knows what their options are. So there's several things we can do to help you with that. You can stay warm, lower your utilities, and, if we can help you out with that, just give us a call. We'd be glad to do that.
Well, everybody should know about this smart chip because I think this is one of the greatest things that's come out in quite a while. To be able to save energy, and you don't have to go to the expense of putting a new unit or anything in. I mean, you can put this on your existing furnace, and I think it's a great idea.
We did that at the print shop. I've mentioned before, my sister and I bought Dogwood Printing in Ozark the end of last year, and so there is a gas furnace there, and we were on propane. And the first 10 days, we went through 100 gallons of propane. The 1st of January, I about died. So Nathan came out. They put that smart chip in. I had the gas company come out and put a 2-stage regulator on, and I've been checking it. That is, we have slowed down sucking propane through there. Well, and they also fixed the flue pipe. We had a few little issues there
Sure.
that we had to tend to. Right. We had a leaky flue pipe, which is never good. And so Spring Mountain Air came out and took care of all that for us. And I've been watching the propane tank just to see, and it's amazing. We've really cut down our usage of propane. That smart chip made a big difference. We're in a building that's not insulated very well. It's a brick building, and it's concrete floor because it's a print shop and all that. And the heat is better. It's more even. It's more comfortable in there. And I am extremely happy with the way that's operating in our print shop.
Oh, that's super. We have a caller on hold. We do. Let's go talk to Butch at the Christian Center. Go ahead, Butch.
Hey.
Good morning.
I thought I'd ask you a question about heating a concrete floor, like a basement house, or that's what I call it back in the old days, I guess. Or
yeah,
I know of a cabinet shop over here in Ozark, and I think he's got water in the floor running maybe PEX tubing to heat his cabinet shop.
Yep. Sure.
Is that an effective way to do things?
It is.
Yes, it is.
The gentleman that I mentioned earlier about the water heater in the house he just sold, I was out there. He put the PEX tubing in the floor on it, and he had him a little boiler that circulated the hot water through there. I was at his house one night, and it was comparable to the temperatures we're having now, only real windy. So it was just horribly cold outside. Walked in, and his place was so comfortable.
Yeah.
And, he had a lot of tile floors and stuff. It's very comfortable to stand on. I mean, the whole house is just a different feeling of warmth. He just loved it. Said he had great luck with it. And I know a lot of people that are doing that. Matter of fact, I know people that are even pulling a line and putting that under their driveway. And with a valve, so during the wintertime, they can turn it on in their driveway. It keeps the snow and ice melted off there. Keeps their house warm. The PEX tubing, when I was... it's been several years since I was selling plumbing supplies. They just started developing different types of products like that wasn't supposed to freeze and bust. But I tell you what, over the last few years since they've come up with PEX, it's a great product, and it's very durable. And so
they just use water in a system like that?
They just use water in the system. That takes your plumber or whoever installs it they'll build a manifold. And that manifold, everything comes together right there at it, and then it'll take some kind of like my friend used. He found a small boiler unit that was made specifically for that, and so there's different styles of units that you can use to circulate the water, but that's what he used, and so it worked great.
Like a specific boiler that you use with a system like that.
Yeah, there is. I mean, you can if you have access to the internet, you can go online and find them. I mean, they're specifically for that, and so they're just a small unit, and set in his utility closet, and just did a wonderful job.
Okay. The other thing I was going to ask you about, I keep hearing people talking about Johnny Carson, but nobody talks about Jack Parr.
Well, we were mentioned Jack Parr in here a while ago.
Did you?
And, of course, that was, I don't remember Jack Parr. That was probably before my time.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But I was aware of him and everything. But Johnny Carson was my era of the Tonight Show.
Me too.
I was about 10 years old when Jack Parr retired.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's been a while ago.
Yeah, it has. All right, well, you gave me something to think about here with my little building project here.
Well, I think it's really a good thing to check into.
All right. Have a good one.
Hey, appreciate the call.
Thank you.
Thanks, Butch. Yeah, those hot water heat like that, they're a great system. And sometimes people will just put them in their bathroom.
Yeah.
Because when they get out of the shower and all that, they don't want to be on because usually you have tile. Obviously, in your bathroom, and the floor can be cold.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, heat rises. So if you've got all these pipes running through your floors and hot water, then that's going to come up. That's going to rise, and so it's a great system.
I was out at Messino Tile picking out some tile. This has been a couple
Don't
weeks
you love?
ago.
I love those guys out there.
Oh,
they have the
my.
coolest tile.
They
I'm trying to
do.
get them on the show.
They do.
So if you're listening, Messino Tile, call me.
Yeah. But they have a system there that goes under tile. I just happened to see it there, and so that would be a nice one to check into. And maybe if we can get one of the guys from out there on the show, they can tell us more about that.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. We'll work on that.
Yep.
So that's something that is an option for people too. Cost-wise, I've never priced it out, so I don't know what it is cost-wise to put it in, but I do know that a lot of people like them in their bathrooms. Or they'll put, don't you have heated towel racks and stuff? You can heat up all kinds of stuff anymore in your home.
Yeah,
so it's just kind of just what you want. It'd be kind of nice to get out of the shower on a cold day and have a heated towel.
Boy, it would. That'd feel good.
That would feel good.
Now, we'll have to ask Andy and Monica the next time they're on the show with National Home Products about the heated towel racks and stuff, because I'm sure they have access
I'll
to
bet
them
they
over
do.
there.
I'll bet they do too. So
yeah,
lots of ways to keep warm, folks. You can just just how much money do you want to spend?
That's the key to it right there.
You can have your own little in-home sauna. Yeah.
I always wanted a sauna.
Have you ever been in one?
Yeah.
You like them?
Mm-hmm.
Do you? I've been in one a couple times, and I'm just kind of like, they're okay, but I don't know.
I used to go to the, you can't tell by looking at me now, but I did go to the fitness center at one time, and they did have a sauna, and I used to get in it. I think now, since I've had my heart surgeries and everything, I don't know that I can.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't recommend that.
But I always did. I like to get in those and sit and sweat.
Well, aren't you supposed to, after you get in those, aren't you supposed to get in a cold shower afterwards or something?
I don't know.
That's what I've always been told. I don't know. And I'm not a fan of cold showers, so.
Oh, I'm not either.
No thanks.
No.
Nah, nothing's worth that.
Nope, that's right. That's right. But, hey, I'll just take a good old hot steamy shower. How's that?
That's me too.
There you go.
I'm all about that. So, and then when it's on these cool days, then I have a hard time getting out. Till the water starts cooling off, then I jump out. I'm okay. I'm done.
Yep, that's right. Run the old water heater out for sure.
So I'm probably not mine the most efficient if I'm running the hot water out of it.
Probably not. Or your water heater's not doing what it's supposed to.
Yeah, there's something going on with it, I'm sure. But
yeah, for sure. So I think we have a caller holding on, if I'm not mistaken.
And we're going to be out of time pretty soon, so we better go to our caller.
I think we better. Let's talk to Bonnie here in Springfield. Hello, Bonnie.
Hello, Mary.
Yes.
Yeah, you put me in a new furnace back in October. On North Farmer Street.
Yes, ma'am.
And, I have the filter is in my ceiling in by the bathroom.
Yes,
Well, now I can't get around very well. And how do you get that cleaned without asking somebody? And then outside it's so cold, for one to dry out. I usually just use the hose when I was able to get out there and do it myself, but now I'm not.
You have a washable filter, Bonnie?
Yes.
Okay. You can just take it out, and you can just rinse it out either in the bathtub or the sink or anything like that, and just set it down and let it dry, and then just put it back in.
Well, it's like a foot wide by 2 foot, probably something like that size.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to scratch my bathtub up, but
well, it
afraid of that.
shouldn't scratch the bathtub up. Or if you're concerned about that, you can just set it on a washcloth or
Towel or
something.
something.
Yeah, just put a washcloth down and then set the corner on the washcloth and then just hose it out.
I
Or
got a shower that you could
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely, and
I
you can
guess-
just clean it out that way.
Okay, that furnace is doing real good. It seems so far. But I wonder, was there any kind of rebate I could get on that for getting a new furnace this winter or not?
I can't remember.
Utilities.
I can't remember what efficiency you put in, Bonnie. I'll tell you what. If
I know it's a man of it. I don't know, any more than that about it, really.
Yeah, I can't remember what percentage you went with. If you typically any client that puts in a furnace or air conditioner or whatever that has a rebate, we put together all the paperwork and give it to that client. So yeah, at the time we put it in. So if you're I just can't remember, Bonnie, because we just have so many clients. But
sure, that's been a while.
It has been. But if you want to, why don't you call the office? 831-4036. Angel will look that up for you, and she can tell you what efficiency we put in and if there's any rebates available for you.
Okay, well, that would be real good. I just didn't think of much,
Uh-huh.
I know I need to do my filter. I just have to have somebody take it out.
Sure.
I can't get up on a stool or a chair anymore because of a stiff knee.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe your grandson can come over and take that out for you or something if he can get over there and then.
So, yeah, that would help.
That would help.
Try that. Now, how often in the winter time should you do that?
Should you clean your filter?
Yes.
You just.
I know they said something about every 3 months, back when we first got it.
Quarterly. I was going to say quarterly. You want to check it probably every 3 months, and if it needs to be cleaned, you can take it out and clean it. If it doesn't, that's okay, but you need to look at it at least once every 3 months.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you. I enjoy your program.
Thanks, Bonnie. Thanks for calling.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's it's important to maintain your filter and everything. And
it is.
And now, does Spring Mountain Air have a program for people like Bonnie that can't get up on a ladder or anything? Is there a plan that you can maintenance plan that a person can buy?
We have service club memberships, and we come out twice a year, and we do maintenance on the furnace and maintenance on the air conditioner, according to whatever season it is, and we check all the filters and everything at that time. So we do it twice a year. Commercially, we don't have just filter contacts with residential. Most residential can handle it themselves or have someone that can help them. But on the commercial side, depending on what they have and what's going on and the environment that that they're in. We have contracts that we come out and change filters quarterly on the commercial side. I know from the print side, I'm learning a lot about that. I have to change the filter in the print shop very frequently because we have all that paper. And we have all that paper dust and all that stuff. So we have a lot of stuff that's getting filtered through our system at the print shop. So that's something, I'm checking it like monthly. And so it depends on your situation and where you're at. On the residential side, most people don't have us come out and check their filter every 3 months because it's something that most homeowners can do on their own. But we do it for our club members who, when we come out and do the annual inspections and the preseason tune-ups, then we do that.
Okay.
Yep, we do.
It's great to know. Just give Spring Mountain Air a call.
That's right. We'll be happy to help you.
That's right.
Answer your questions and help you the best we can. So... I still want a plumber to call. I still want to know about this hybrid hot water heater.
Yeah, hopefully we'll find out more about that.
Yeah.
I've talked to our plumber that does all of our houses, and I know he's extremely busy, and he keeps telling me, I'm going to call, I'm going to come on the show, I promise you I will. Well, David, doggone it, let's get it done here.
Come on, we have a topic now. We need some information.
We need you now, so I'm going to get a hold of him this week and say, listen,
all right.
We still need you. So
we have some listeners who are interested in this, and you need to come and explain it to all of us.
Explain it and tell us how it is.
So we can make intelligent choices when we're remodeling or building.
Yeah.
It's important. If you make bad decisions in the remodeling or building process, it can actually cost you a lot of money for a long time.
Absolutely, it can.
You put in the wrong equipment. You don't put in, if you don't know what you're doing and have someone to help you that's knowledgeable, you can really cost yourself a lot of money.
Yeah, and that's why we always tell everybody, contact a professional if there's any kind of doubt in your mind. And if you still want to do it yourself, there's a lot of people out there that will try to give you advice over the phone or some tips and hints.
We'll help you. Sure,
we'll help you. But if you just totally don't know what you're doing, don't do it.
Well, a lot of the local businesses are that way. They're very helpful, and they don't want you to make bad choices, and they want to help you, and they want to, they're willing to answer questions and visit with you.
Yeah.
The national level, probably not so much. You're probably not going to get that kind of personal communication. But the local companies here, they're happy to help out, and they want their community to be happy and healthy and everyone to do well. So call your local contractor or your local person and have them, or go, like you mentioned, Messino's, go down and talk to those folks. They're very friendly.
Yeah.
We've bought tile from there. I love to go there. They have a cool showroom.
Oh, they do.
They're very friendly, very eager to help you. Tile is another one of those things. It's kind of like looking at wallpaper. It can be overwhelming, and you can put together a gazillion designs and different things. So, it makes it, it can be overwhelming.
Yes, it can.
So if you go talk to a professional, they can work in your budget. They can give you design ideas.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yep. Great people over there too.
Yes, they are.
Yep, sure are.
We're going to run out of time.
We
Mr. Mark.
are. Wow, this hour has flown by.
Yes,
like
it
crazy,
has.
I tell you. So,
like we say, it's always sunny and happy here at Home Repairs and Solutions.
It is. It is every Friday morning. So what do you got going on this weekend?
Well, tomorrow my sister and I are going to go to Drury. They have a women's entrepreneur symposium, and I've gone before, and we're going to go with Bonnie Bell and hopefully learn some new things about women in business and help us continue to be successful and provide good customer service.
Right.
And keep us up on what's new and going on. So that's my day tomorrow, and then hopefully I can go back home. I haven't been home all week.
Yeah.
I've been parked at my daughter's. She's going to throw me out here pretty soon.
Oh, I doubt that now.
So that's what I've got going on.
Well, great.
What do you got happening?
Supposed to play music in Marionville.
Oh my!
Tomorrow night, but since I've gone to the doctor with shoulder problems, he told me no, I couldn't. So I got to lay off a couple weeks. So this weekend I'm just going to just
chill out.
Chill out.
Literally.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, literally. That's true. So that's about all I got going this weekend. So.
Well, sounds like we both are going to be fairly laid back.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to learn something tomorrow. I hope I can still learn something.
Oh, you can.
I don't think I'm too old.
Never. No, that's for sure. So.
Well, I want to thank everyone for listening in today. Yep. Thank you to our callers. It makes it more fun when we have people call in and participate.
That's right. It does.
So,
it does.
Yeah, thanks to them, and thanks for showing up today, Mark.
My pleasure.
Braving the cold.
Oh, hey, I wouldn't miss it. It's my favorite time of the week. So, well, this is Home Repairs and Solutions. We're heard every Friday morning from 10 to 11 right here on AM 560 KWTO.
Home Repairs and Solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house. They'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home Repairs and Solutions.